Hello there, I want to talk to you about a paradox, and I want to thank Catalyst Yogi because he's the guy that said you should run towards a paradox because there's so much benefit to be gained from that. So here's a paradox which I feel very few people are aware of. Now, we are a community, we've got these different impulses, drives, interests, programs running, but here's one of the most fundamental ones. It is the impulse to live on the land in a community as a settler, and the other impulse is to actually do completely the opposite, to leave wherever you are, find a way of living which is mobile and become a traveller. So we have these two impulses which are obviously going to put us in totally different situations, to travel, to settle. And I find it so helpful to look at that, and I'm very grateful that there was a time in my life where I was able to do both. So throughout the autumn, the winter and the spring, I lived in an intentional community in northeast Lancashire. And then in the summer, I used to work for an organisation which sets up conferences under canvas. That's what they call it. What they mean is they create a tented eco-village, and it's off-grid, and we grow our own food, and we've got our own kitchens and sweat lodge and workshop and event spaces and all the things that we want to offer people. And that meant travelling. So to travel somewhere, to start with an empty field, put something up, run something and put it all away, that's one thing. The other thing is to actually live in the place and be there as an ongoing community. So what I was so helped by was just listening to the radio one guy, and some guy was talking about this, this thing people don't think about or take into account about their lives. I suggest to you it's a really good idea to look at how you are, what really motivates you, what touches your heart. Is your heart touched by being a traveller? Is your heart touched most by being a settler? Or are you one of those particular people that needs both? Because some of us do need to actually have times when we travel and times when we put down roots. And for so much of my life I have been rootless. I've not had roots because of having so much travelling in my life. But I can greatly appreciate people I know who've had a rooted life, have always lived in a particular locality, and they've got that deep connection. So I simply wanted to explore this with you, these two competing needs that people have, and to ask you, how do you feel about that? I'd love to hear from you. If you want to give me a comment, how you feel about travelling, how you feel about being a settler. All the love to you.